Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, power, and glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item D on the agenda is approval of minutes from September 6th, 2022, regular council meeting. In the absence of any objections or corrections, the minutes shall stand approved. Hearing none, they stand approved. Item E is citizen communication. If there's anyone in the audience that would like to address council on anything that is not on the agenda, you can step up to the podium, or if you're on WebEx, go ahead and type your comments in the chat and we will address those. Item F, reports from council committees. See the electric committee, the water, sewer, refuse, recycling, litter committee, and the municipal property, building, land use, and economic development committee, and parks and rec committee did not meet in the last week here due to lack of agenda items. Is that okay there, Billy?
That works.
Thank you. F5, the Personnel Committee met on September 19th, 2022 at 7 a.m. Went into executive session to consider employment. It's on your line.
That's fine.
Employment of a public employee. Item H, introduction of new ordinances and resolutions. H1 is ordinance number 050-22, an ordinance amending a certain section of the City of Napoleon Personnel Code, specifically section 197.16 F3, schedule of observed legal holidays, also amending the City of Napoleon Employment Policy Manual, specifically policy 14.3, recognized holidays. Have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Joel.
Thank you, Council President. And we discussed this item in the Safety and Human Resources Committee meeting. Originally was to add a holiday or discuss a holiday, Juneteenth, to be added to the schedule. And it was also discussed to add Veterans Day. And it was decided by the committee that, recommended by the committee to add both holidays as observed holidays to the city's personnel code. But that does not include the bargaining unit contracts, and just so you know, that's being negotiated right now. An item in the bargaining unit contracts, there's trigger language in them that if this is passed by city council, then it would be observed by the bargaining units as well. So right now for this ordinance, it would just be for the non-bargaining unit.
Thank you, Joel. Have you got any comments or questions regarding this? Was that a question? All right, hearing none. Marissa, please call the roll.
Yes.
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 All right, that will be moving on to second read. All right, H2, resolution number 051-22, a resolution approving the provisions of a certain collective bargaining agreement between the City of Napoleon, Ohio, and American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, AFL-CIO, Local 3859, for the term commencing from December 1st, 2022 through November 30th, 2025, authorizing the city manager to execute the same and declaring an emergency.
Motion.
Second.
Joel?
Thank you, Council President. And I shared some of this last week with everybody, but just to kind of go through some of our issues list with the contract negotiations with AFSCME. We started, let me start off by saying we started about a month and a half ago, and we went through the interest-based bargaining process, which is customary here. We went through it with their new Council 8 rep and their mostly new executive board. There was only one of them that has been on the executive board in the past. So a lot of new faces to the bargaining unit executive team. It went really well. I think everything went very smoothly. And we went through the issues. I won't go through all of them unless you want me to. What I was planning on doing was just going through the more pertinent issues and skipping over things like
Top 3 or top 5, Joel, is enough.
Top 3, yeah, top 3. So the one change that was requested that we'd put in was the call-out time, which there's a minimum of a 2-hour call-out right now in their contract. So when somebody gets called out, they automatically get 2 hours. So then they go in, they punch in, they do whatever they need to do, and they leave. Even if they're done within 2 hours, they still get credited for the 2 hours. It doesn't happen very often. Usually when somebody gets called in, it's actually longer than the 2 hours, but about a third of the time it's underneath that. So, but we did move that to 3 hours. Also, there was one change to the, it would be personal holidays for any employees that have over 25 years. Right now, they have they have 6 personal holidays. The request was made to add one more. We added one more personal holiday to make it 7 for anybody over 25 years. And the big one is, of course, wages. And it's always a grueling process and a grind. And we were grinding there for a little bit, but I think we all came to a resolution that I think is fair given the circumstances of today. The wage increases that we have proposed and agreed to are 3.5% for the first year, 3% for the second year, and 3.5% for the third year. So 3.5, 3.5 for the duration of the 3-year contract. That's 10% over the 3-year period, and that's, I think, some of the other jurisdictions that we've looked at are comparable to this, and the AFSCME union, we think that actually for retention purposes we're doing well, and I think that the wages that they're at now are comparable and in some cases better than some of the neighboring communities and other places. Not the best, but better than some of them. So in terms of retention, it's an important deal. That's a very important item right now for us. We think we're in good standing. So that's what was all the tentative agreements. There are other things, but not any of them that have a monetary impact. So that's what we have. Then happy to take any questions, and Brittany's here too.
Okay. Do you have any questions or comments? All right. Hearing none, Marissa, please call the roll.
Yes.
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 Okay, that will be moving on to second read. Tonight we have no second readings, so we'll move on to item J, third readings of ordinances and resolutions. J1 is ordinance number 047-22, an ordinance approving current June 2022 replacement pages to the City of Napoleon codified ordinances. Motion?
So moved. Second.
Okay, Joel?
Thank you. Nothing new to report.
All right. Any questions? Hearing none, Marissa, please call the roll.
Yes.
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 All right, that is passed on third read. Item J2, ordinance number 049-22, an ordinance amending threshold amounts related to competitive bidding, purchasing, contracting, and expenditures. Have a motion?
So.
Second.
Anything new and exciting on this one, Joel?
Nothing new and exciting on
No?
this.
All right. Any new questions, comments?
Council is entrusting the people we entrust with a lot more authority. And we can take it back if we need to, so
Right,
that's all I'm gonna say about that.
thank you. Hey, Marissa, please call the roll.
Yes.
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 All right, that has passed on third read as well. Moving on to item K, good of the city. K1 is discussion or action to participate in the 2023 Municipal Bridge Inspection Program. Anything to
Chad, do you want to add
Chad.
anything, or do you want to wait for the ordinance? to be
give us a
drafted?
little snippet here?
Yeah.
Yeah, just real quick, a few years back, there was a tragic bridge collapse, I believe it was in Minnesota. At that time, the federal government required all bridges get inspected annually. The state has a program, in which they will do all your inspections for free. If we don't participate, we are still required to do those inspections, but we have to pay for them. This is just the legislation we need, to participate in that program. So essentially, it'll get our bridges inspected at no cost to us. So I'm just requesting that proper legislation be drafted.
When does this have to be completed, or,
It was, mid-December, we have time.
okay, great.
Yeah.
Is it every bridge in Napoleon?
Yes, but we don't have control over all of them.
Right.
We only have 4. So this
Okay.
will get ours, inspected, the county does their own, and then I honestly don't know who's in charge of inspecting Perry Street and Industrial Drive. If those are the state or if those are the county.
Okay.
The county does their own.
And it's just traffic bridge, we have to worry about our railroad bridge that we officially
No.
still own, right?
No.
Okay.
Is there any downside you feel to having the state inspect?
No, we've been participating for several years. There was a trip up at the state that they needed it renewed. I honestly don't know if we had to do legislation in the past to participate, but this year they asked us to.
What happens if the state finds a problem? Are we
Based on-
allowed to get a second opinion?
We could.
That's a good question.
They contract out the inspections with consulting firms that specialize in bridges. We've had DGL out of Toledo do them, we've had Mannequin Smith out of Maumee do them. So they contract with engineering firms that this is what they do.
Yeah.
So we've never had an issue with the current rating we have on our bridges that are open. I don't see there being any problems. We have
I'd
one
rather
bridge
find
in
out ahead of
town.
time than after.
Yeah, we have one bridge that is closed, but it's on
Yeah.
a dead-end street.
Okay, thank you.
And it adds a little consistency to the inspection process. So when you have multiple consultants or people or engineers from, if they're on staff or not doing the inspections, some person looking at one bridge might think differently of the condition
Yep, well,
than
that's the
another
reason I
person,
was
so
saying, what happens if you have if you want a second opinion?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we just need a motion to direct the law director to draft legislation, please.
I'll make motion. Second.
Okay, Marissa, please call the roll.
Yes.
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 All right, item K2, discussion or action, review approval of the power supply cost adjustment factor for September 2022, PSCAF 3-month average factor 0.01364, and JV2 0.075178. Joel?
Thank you, Council President. So this is some pretty volatile times right now for the natural gas markets. And usually when you have consistency in your usage compared to the previous 3 months of the prior year, You would think that there would be some similarities. So, I mean, this is a really good year to capture what's going on in the natural gas market in terms of how it affects our rates directly. So the usage of May of '21 through July of '21 is really consistent with the May through July of '22. And our power supply cost adjustment factor is actually up. So you see the 0.00782, and that's 0.01364. So we'll be in somewhere around probably the 12.3 to 12.4 cent per kilowatt hour range, which is still good compared to what the prices are around us and what's happening with everybody else. So just to kind of briefly go down through this in the AMP bill, what you'll see where that steepest jump is. Prairie State is actually consistent, so that's the coal plant in southern Illinois. But getting to Fremont, that's the natural gas plant. That is up by about $175,000, so that's what natural gas prices are doing to us for this particular project, which we're seeing in the bill. And the hydros are actually a little bit low, still fairly consistent. So you get any other nuances in the bill, and it just starts to compound a little bit. But that's the biggest, most noticeable, glaring difference in today's bills versus prior months before the natural gas prices spiked, probably in the spring. So it's actually to take a snapshot. June of 2010 was the highest it had ever been prior to this, compared to today, or I should say, a few days ago. It was the highest it's ever been. So we have been dealing with the volatile market, and these are the results of it. So, I mean, your rate per kilowatt hour is still good. It's higher than what it is normally, but it's still good compared to other providers. So, any questions?
No, sir. All right, can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Okay, Marissa, please call the roll.
Molly? Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Dr. Pave?
Yes.
Okay, that has been approved. Item K3, discussion and action, third quarter budget adjustments. Finance Committee will meet on September 26, 2022. Just need to have a motion to direct the law director to draft legislation, unless you have some comments to add to it.
No, we would definitely meet next Monday. It's scheduled for 6:30, and there'll be plenty of items. There'll be a lot of on third quarter budget adjustments. By approving this tonight or instructing the law director to enact legislation, this allows us to bring those adjustments to council then the following Monday,
Okay.
and we could close the month out earlier.
Really like that.
Yeah. Well, if you like it so much, then make a motion.
Second?
Okay, Marissa, please call the roll.
Molly?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Dr. Pave?
Yes.
All right, item K4, discussion or action to allow Odot to work within the city limits to pave State Route 110 up to State Route 108, South Perry Street. I know we've already discussed this. I don't know if there's any other questions or just want to make the motion.
So move.
Just to clarify, this is the legislation that says we will financially participate. The last legislation was you can work in town,
Okay.
and the most recent estimate I received from them was city's portion would be around $225,000. If we did it ourselves, it'd probably be less than that.
Our finance director okay with that?
Yep.
All right.
Anytime we can save money, I'm for it.
All right, sounds good.
I will second Councilman Bear's motion.
Thanks. Okay, please call the roll.
Molly?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Dr. Pave?
Yes.
All right. Moving on to item K5, discussion or action to purchase Padmont transformer for $72,000. That was not budgeted for. Joel?
Thank you,
Tell us a
Council
little bit about
President.
this.
Yeah, I think it's worthy of a prelude for the legislation. And I'll just start off by saying these are good problems to have. When you have industry coming in and taking your inventory for new project development. So they do pay us for these transformers when when we do install them. So we do own them. They do pay for that. We install them, and then we're on the hook for maintaining them. Right now, what we're seeing in the market, as you know, is price jumps, doubling the price of what transformers are at now, or what they used to be, and lag time in receipt of said transformers. So right now, we do not have an adequate inventory for the amount of transformers that we have out there right now of this size. So the request is to have this added as legislation, and the request would be to have it passed under suspension at the next council meeting so we can get the order in, so we're not out if somebody's transformer goes out of service and we don't have a spare to replace it, or even borrow one or buy one from another municipality or somebody else that has one on the yard, because they just don't exist right now. So this kind of came up pretty quick for us because of what's been going on with Dana and some of the other, I want to say another. ADS, yeah, that was. So.
So we depleted our stock of these by using them for Dana and ADS and other things.
Yeah, they upsized, yep.
Where are we buying this from?
GE,
What do you say?
It's a secret.
I actually got a line from another superintendent,
Okay, another municipality.
and he gave me the, hey, there's this guy. But he's kind of a locator for nationwide, because, I mean, right now, the emails from municipalities are just going crazy looking for cans. And nobody wants to give any up because of the shortage. So this guy found me one.
Okay.
And just for insurance, if one of our other utilities went down, we wouldn't have one, and they'd be out indefinitely. So it's kind of a must.
Jump on it.
This is aluminum, not copper, right?
Yes. The cost of them now are so expensive that anybody who was going with copper are going to aluminum now.
Yes.
And again, I'll get the money back. Down the road, when new industry come in here, they would pay for that. So it's gonna come back to us eventually.
is one enough?
I got 2 on order, and they were supposed to be here last April. And now, now they were supposed to be here June, then October, now they're supposed to be here in January. So, and when January comes, who knows? So
Okay.
there's a time period here, whereas if something did happen, and they already gave this one that they've got their name on, that they have paid for, then we would be out there without a can, and if something would happen, then,
They're out of power.
That industry would be down indefinitely. So, I mean, we really don't have a choice, and like I said, eventually we'll get this money back.
Do we need to go pick them up? Is it a shipping problem, or is it a
No,
construction problem?
That price includes shipping. They'll deliver it right to your house.
No, he's saying, do we need to go pick it up?
That way we don't get knocked down the line anymore.
Well, this is the black market transformer.
I didn't know that was a thing.
I'm sure it is a thing. And I'm glad you're joking.
For the record.
For the record, you're joking. Jeez. Headline tomorrow, Northwest Signal.
No, but it's,
Holding my breath.
Jen, we don't know who that guy is. No idea.
It's Peak Electric. If you're for the record, it's, the guy's name is Reese Petit from Peak Electric in Pickersbury.
Before we give away all our secrets, we have an officer going to escort him out. And
He's the go-to guy.
All right,
thank you.
so we need a motion to direct the law director to draft legislation.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay, Marissa, please call the roll.
Molly? Yes. Ross?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so we'll go around the table here. Start with Joel.
Oh, thank you. All right. I really appreciate it. I know that this will be the first council meeting since the official announcement that I'll be leaving to go to the city of Oregon. So I just wanted to thank you all. This has been a great council, even though some people have turned over in some of the positions, but it's been very consistent when it has turned over. And everybody on council, past and present since I've been here has just been wonderful. So really appreciate everything that you do and how willing you are to be, progressive, yet conservative enough to, not get too crazy. But it's been a really good ride for me. Really appreciate it. It's a really tough decision, but I really do feel like it was more of a I'm destined to go there, and no, it's just been I'm nothing but grateful to have had this honor and this opportunity to be here with you all. So I got one more council meeting though, so
That's right.
thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you. Billy?
Congrats to Joel. Best of luck. Nothing else from me.
Okay. Dr. Dave?
Nothing new to really add, but I do want to say I think Joel's done a fantastic job. He's going to be a hard act to follow, and hopefully we can find a good person that will be able to take his shoes. That's all I have.
All right. Dan?
Yeah, Joel, we do wish you the best, but we hate to see you leave, but we do totally understand it. Now, yeah, you've had to put up with me the entire time. Maybe that's why you're departing, I don't know. But you have done a good job for us, and we will miss you. We are getting together, and I think the mayor has more on this for the group for the CIC annual meeting here coming up, that the council will have I believe, a table for. Table of eight for that meeting coming up here next month. And Mr. City Manager or Mr. Council President, do you have anything on the agenda for safety and human resources?
No?
We do.
Brittany
Yes, we'll
does.
get back with you on that. I think we do.
So what time am I 7:30? Is that my regular time? 7:30 then.
Because finance and budget will be meeting about the third quarter budget adjustments.
That's at
also.
6:30.
That's at
yes.
6:30.
So 7:30?
Yep.
But you don't have an agenda item for me at this point?
We do, I just don't remember what the topics are offhand. There were a couple of items, I believe. I believe Chief Mack had
Oh,
one.
I was trying to be.
And,
Oh, we do have executive session.
okay. We do have one item.
No, just let me know what the item is before the meeting.
Yes, of course, yeah.
Okay, that's all, sir.
All right, thank you. Mr. Mayor?
Do we have an update on the Front Street, Jan's Road, walking path construction project? Is it still gonna happen this year?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't have an exact date when they're coming back,
Okay,
but I spoke with a representative from Nagels. When they come back, they're planning on bringing multiple concrete crews,
okay,
so yes.
okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, don't sit down yet. I have a follow-up question on that. I couldn't remember, are we doing concrete or asphalt or a mixture in that?
That project is concrete.
Okay.
Now, the project that I will present to you in the budget for the remainder of Front Street, the majority of that will be asphalt.
Okay. All right, thank you.
And I also need to request, we gotta be close to a record here. you know?
I think so.
And if somebody wasn't selfish and decided to leave us, we'd be out of here a whole lot faster, but since somebody's looking out for his own interest, I guess we gotta, I need to go to executive session to consider employment for a public employee.
All right, anything else?
That's all I had. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Joel, congratulations, good luck. We miss you a lot. I think the reason that a lot of us that are consistent being on council has a lot to do with all the help you provided, that you made. I know you made my job a lot easier, either just going to bat for the city or just explaining things like, you know, the electric stuff or a lot of different things that I didn't understand. You helped me understand those things in layman's terms that made it, you know, a little bit easier to do my job. So, thank you. You'll be missed a lot. That's all I have. Ross?
Joel, you said you're nothing but grateful. I think that's a position that we are in. We're nothing but grateful for your time and service here. So thank you. You will be truly missed. Oregon's getting a good one, man. So best of luck to you.
Thanks.
That's it.
Molly?
Yes, Joel, congrats. I've appreciated all the hand-holding through city government and trying to learn my way through. And it's nice to see a city manager who truly has Napoleon's best interest at heart. And I think we can all say that. So, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. You'll be missed.
Thanks.
Kevin?
Congrats again. You know, in the next couple of weeks, we got a lot of discussion yet to go over, tie up any loose ends. Budgeting season is upon us, and we will move forward with that. I was so thankful to have the first round last year with your assistance to see how it's done here at the city of Napoleon, so I anticipate a smooth process this year, even without a city manager, so hopefully things will go well. But I'll still I got your number, I will
Yeah.
call you. That's that.
It's quite all right.
That's all I have.
All right, thank you. All right, could I have a motion to go into executive session for, what did you say?
Consideration of employment for a public employee.
So moved.
Second.
Hey, Marissa, please call the roll.
Yes.
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 We shall return. All right, could I have a motion to come out of executive session?
To consider employment of public employee.
So moved.
Second.
Team.
Hey, no action taken. Marissa, please call the roll.
Yes.
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 Item, pardon me?
No action
I said that. I just said it quick for once. Item M, approve payment of bills and financial reports. In the absence of any objections or correction, the payment bills and financial reports shall stand approved. Hearing none, they stand approved. Have a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Third.
Hey, Marissa, please call the roll.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
Yes.
we are adjourned.